Hello and welcome to the summer 2018 version of Sensation and Perception. This is Psychology 3153. My name is Dr. Ray Lopez, and I will be teaching this class for you this summer, online, of course. And what we're going to go through here today is just the introduction to where all the materials are, as well as the syllabus. So let's go ahead and get started. If you haven't already done it, please go ahead and do two things. First of all, open up the syllabus, with the PDF file of the syllabus. If you haven't gotten that, go ahead and grab it and log into Blackboard. The syllabus starts off with my contact information up at the top, as you can see here in my lovely picture. The best way to get a hold of me is through email. And you see my email address there, ray.lopez@utsa.edu. Now, I have an office on campus. As you can see, it's in the MH building. And the reason it says by appointment only there on the syllabus is because this summer, I will actually be working out of state. So those of you that have had me for professor before know that I'm an adjunct professor here. I'm not a full-time professor. I just teach part-time, and my day job is working for IBM. I will actually be working in New York City in June and July. So I will be out of town. So if you need to talk to me, send me an email. And if we can't, if you'd rather not, well, send me an email if you want to talk to me. And if we can't deal with any issues via email, then we can set up a phone call or a Skype or whatever other communication means you have at your disposal to communicate. So I'd be very happy to do that. So that's why it says by appointment. So basically we can set up time to talk if you need to communicate with me. But I'll get into that a little bit more later. So the objective of the course is to learn how humans and other animals sense and perceive the world. This is typically considered a pretty tough class for folks because sensation and perception takes into account not only psychology but also biology and physics. So you're going to be learning a little bit of physics and a little bit of biology in this course. So it's pretty complex. The whole field of sensation and perception is a very complex field, as you might imagine. So the prereq for this class is experimental 3403 with a C or better. It's good for 3 credit hours. Now, this course will utilize UTSA's Blackboard system. So basically your exams and your gateway to all the content is going to be on Blackboard. Now, I don't actually keep all my content directly on Blackboard. There's going to be a link on Blackboard to my content. I actually maintain my content on another website that is not on Blackboard, only because I get really tired of Blackboard eating my content every now and then. But Blackboard is the entry point. It's also the point where all the exams will be taken. And of course, Blackboard is your official record of your grades. As I said, my office hours are going to be by appointment via electronic means. I have tried many different ways of communicating with students in my online class. Online classes are really tough to teach. They are for me because I don't particularly enjoy teaching online classes, mainly because I don't get any communication with students. I don't get to interact with students very much, or hardly at all, really. And I've tried all kinds of things to try to uh, to increase interaction, um, without adding too much extra work, and I haven't had any luck. So aside from office hours, I would also like to offer, if any of you want to ever want to get a study group together, for some you it's got to be on an evening, any evening, during the course of this summer. If you have a study group of 3 or more people, and you would like to have me join your study group to answer questions via Skype or Google Hangouts or Facebook Messenger, or whatever else you want to use, I would be happy to do that. I would be more than happy to do that. Also, obviously, if you have any questions about any of the content, send me an email. I will, if it's a good question, if it's a question that I think might interest others, I'll post it, with your permission, of course. I'll post it in the discussion area of Blackboard. But basically, I just want to let you know that even though this is an online class, I would welcome any opportunity to communicate with you guys more directly. So if any of you are motivated at all to reach out and for whatever reason to communicate, I would be more than happy to help you out with that. I'm just out of ideas. I really don't have any ideas because everybody's busy, and doing a bunch of extra work sucks. So I get that. But anyway, I want to offer that up to you. That I don't want this just to be like this sterile, online course. The next section of the syllabus is textbook. The textbook is essential. You have to have the textbook. And it's the 10th edition of Sensation and Perception by Goldstein and Brockmole. The ISBN number is in the syllabus. Don't you really shouldn't use an older edition like the 9th or the 8th edition. I understand they're cheaper, of course, but there's going to be new information in the 10th edition that you're going to be tested on that you won't see if you're using an older edition of the textbook. The other thing too that you need to be very well aware of is the relationship between the textbook and my lectures. So in my lectures, I tend to cover things. I don't cover every single little thing that's in the textbook. I cover things. I cover the most basic topics, the things that I think might be most difficult to understand. This is upper division now, and it's getting to be more and more like real life. So, you shouldn't expect a lecture or you shouldn't expect any professor to just sort of tell you, here's what's going to be on the test, memorize it, and then regurgitate it. It doesn't work that way. Real life doesn't work that way. Jobs don't work that way. Good jobs, anyway, they don't work that way. I think what, the lecture is intended to be complementary with the textbook. And your job is to learn the material as best you can. Now, the lectures, well, I'll get into that in a little while. Let's see. Cengage MindTap is a tool that is available for you for this course. It's not required because it's like an extra $95 or something like that. It's not required. If you want to get it, feel free, but I've had so much trouble with Cengage. It's just been a mess, and I just don't use it anymore because it's really hard to keep track of it. And but they do actually have a lot of good content on there that helps you to review the material. The next section is policy on lectures on page 2 of the syllabus. Now, the lectures are all in video format, and they are on YouTube. And there's a link there in the syllabus to the playlist for all the lectures for each chapter. And I also the link will also be posted in Blackboard, and you can get to it through there. Each chapter is covered by 5 to 7 video lectures. Each one is 10 or 20 minutes in length, so kind of long. Each chapter, you're going to be spending. There's a couple of hours of lectures per chapter, so putting these videos together was a huge amount of effort. But I felt it was important because I really wanted you to have as much of a real life sort of classroom experience as possible. So I have these lectures. They're on YouTube, which is awesome because it means you can watch them on your phone or wherever, and they're easy to get to. Now the videos are having the videos on YouTube is a lot like a real life lecture. In other words, you don't have to watch them. I mean, you really don't. Just like you don't have to go to class. There's those people that show up just for the exams, and they read the book, and they do, they'll make a C, if they're lucky, and they do okay. But you don't have to watch the YouTube lectures. They're there to explain things in the book that are in the book. But I hope you do take advantage of them. Like I said, I put a lot of effort into them. The other thing I have to tell you about the lectures is that the first 3 chapters 1, 2, and 3, I believe, those videos are just awful. They're very bad. And I know they're bad because I was just that's when I was just learning how to make video lectures. And you'll see, I mean, they're just awful. But don't lose faith, because after with chapters 4 onward, I got much better at and the videos are much better toward the end. So please forgive me. The first three chapters of the lectures aren't good. I mean, you can hear everything, you can see everything. They're just really ugly. They're just very ugly lectures, but they're there. They're there for you to avail yourself. The next section on page 2, policy on exams. There's going to be 4 exams. Right, 4 exams. Each one is going to be 65 multiple choice questions. It's going to be delivered on Blackboard, and you're going to have 90 minutes to complete each one of the exams. Each exam has a date when it needs to be completed by. So the dates are the deadline for when each exam needs to be completed. You can do the exams earlier if you want. You can take them well before the due date, but that due date is when each one is due. And I do that because once when I was teaching this class, I didn't have any due dates. I just had them all due at the end of the semester, and that didn't work out well at all. People just they of course, people being people, they waited until the last minute to do the exams, and so you had these people taking like 4 exams on finals week. So I didn't do that anymore. Now I have each one of the exams due on a certain date, and we'll get to the date when we get to the calendar at the end of the syllabus. Now the exams are locked down pretty well, only because obviously I have no control over what you do when you're taking the exam. Each exam can only be attempted 1 time. So you can't start it and then stop it again. If you start the exam and then bail out in the middle of it, you're going to get whatever questions you didn't answer will be counted wrong. So when you take the exam, you got to make sure that you have 90 minutes of dedicated time and a good internet connection that's not going to crap out on you, and also a good computer that's not going to reset itself or reboot itself, for example, with updates or whatever. There's no makeup exams, only because, you can take the exams whenever you want, as long as you do it before the deadline. So, if you're going to be on vacation or something when an exam is due, just take it before you leave. So they're pretty locked down. Again, you only get one chance at them. You can only take them one time. And you have to complete the entire exam in one sitting. Now, there's exceptions to every rule. And basically, Blackboard is not the most reliable system in the world. Those of you that have used Blackboard probably know that. There's going to be some of you that while you're taking the exam, Blackboard is going to crap out. And it's just, it's going to die and it's going to throw you out. And your exam's going to get submitted and you're going to have been, you're going to be like on question 3. And the exam will be submitted. Don't worry about it. Do not worry if that happens, because it happens fairly frequently. Not a lot, but it does happen every semester. It happens. If that happens to you, don't worry about it. All I need you to do is, as soon as it happens, as soon as it happens, shoot me an email. Say, hey, Dr. Lopez, I was taking the exam and I was on, I just got started on it and it locked me out or froze or my computer crashed or whatever, right? I'll go in and verify that that's what happened, because there's log files I can look at and things like that. So I'll go in and verify that's what happened. And if it looked like if you're telling me the truth and that really happened, then what I'll just do is I'll reset the exam for you. And what that does is it gets rid of any answers you may have put, and it restarts the exam at the first question, and then you can just take it again. And even if it happens the night that the exam is due, and if it does happen and the exam's due, it happens and the exam's due in 20 minutes, don't worry about it. Just as long as you get me that email as soon as it happens, and I have that record showing what happened, I'll reset the exam. And if you turn it in late, you turn it in late, and I won't count it. I won't count any points off as long as I have an email from you explaining what happened. So again, if the exam craps out on you, or if your computer craps out on you while you're taking the exam, do not worry about it. Communicate with me as soon as possible. Let me know what happened, and we'll fix it, and with no harm done. So just want to reassure you guys, to not freak out if that happens. The grading for this course is pretty straightforward. 4 exams for your grade, and that's it. Each exam counts for 25% of your grade, and that's pretty much it. Now, it says no extra credit will be given on the syllabus, and typically that's true. I may have some extra credit available for you later. I don't know. I mean, it depends on some stuff I'm doing. But if I do, I'll let you know. But don't ask, because if I do have some, I will get it to you. Student disability services. Now, if you are an official, if you have a verifiable documented disability that qualifies you for assistance through student disability service, I would strongly advise you to take advantage of that. The SDS folks at UTSA are absolutely wonderful. They will work with you and work with me to make sure that you get taken care of, and that you deal with your disability in the best way, and that it doesn't impede your performance in the test. So please, by all means, take advantage of that, and they'll let me know if you are an official SDS student, and I've got ways of handling that for the online test. Academic dishonesty, you know what that is, right? This course is basically, this is an online course, and when you're taking the exams, I don't know what you guys are doing, right? I mean, I obviously have no control over you when you're taking the exam at your house or wherever. All I can say is that, you know, don't cheat. I know that some of you will cheat, and it's unfortunate, but that you've chosen to live your life like that. But hey, there's not much I can do about it. But for those of you that don't cheat, it's usually fairly easy to tell who's cheating and who's not cheating on these exams, on these electronic exams. Believe it or not, there's ways to tell. And all I can say is any dishonest behavior does eventually catch up to you. So, but anyway, there's a whole section here on academic dishonesty. I would advise you to read through it. Dropping the course on page 4 of the of the syllabus. Dropping the course. Go to ASAP and make note of the date that the course has to be dropped. The last date to drop the course with a W, I should say. And the only reason I ask students to do that is because you never know. I mean, God forbid something awful should happen and you can't finish the class and you have to drop. It would be nice to know, while you're dealing with some emergency, it would be nice if you could have that information right at your fingertips when you could drop the class, and just make a note of it, put it in your phone or in your notebook, in your calendar, when the last day you can drop with a W is, just so you know in case something happens. Finally, the course calendar at the on the last page of the syllabus. The course calendar has the dates when the exams need to be due, as well as the chapters that are covered. So, exam 1 covers chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4, and it's due on the 16th of June. Exam 2 covers chapters 5, 6, 7, and 8. It's due on the 7th of July. Exam 3 covers 9, 10, 11, and 12. It is due on the 28th of July. And then finally, Exam 4 covers chapters 13, 14, and 15. And it's due on the 14th of... Okay, so you can take these exams before those dates. You just can't do it after. Now, if you do take the exam after the date, it will be counted late, and I will deduct 5 points per week that the exam is late. So if you take it late, and if it's turned in a week late, 10 points. 10 points per week that it's late. So if you turn it in a week late, it's 10 points off. 2 weeks late, 20 points off, etc. So be sure to get these exams done by the due dates. Please make note of the due dates. Every semester I have at least 1 or 2 students that sends me this desperate email saying, "Oh my God, I didn't know the exam was due this day." All the whining and everything. But please write these dates in your calendar. Make note of the fact that each one of these dates, or a couple of things. First of all, each one of these dates is a Saturday night. So 16th of June, 7th of July, 28th of July, and 14 August. They're all Saturday nights. I do that on purpose, just in case, so that you can have as much time as possible. And the exam is due at midnight. Well, technically 11:59 p.m. on each of those evenings. So as long as you get those exams submitted by midnight on those dates, you're going to be good for each exam. Let's see what else. So here's at the end, the last section of the syllabus are links to all the things that you're going to need. What I'm going to do now is show you a couple of things. First, let's go to Blackboard. So let's flip over to Blackboard. And once you go into Blackboard, you're going to see something that looks kind of like this without the big orange line on top. That's for me. But But you'll see the course here in Blackboard, and you're going to click on the content link here on the left-hand side. And this is where you're going to go to access everything. Obviously, you found this already because you're watching this video. So the welcome video is accessed through here. The course content, this link right here, course content, takes you out to another website. Now, this website is on my own personal website where I keep all of my teaching materials. And I keep it out here, like I said earlier, that because I was really tired of Blackboard eating all my content every now and then. So I just decided I would just keep stuff out here. The website's very basic. It's kind of ugly. I keep it very simple for a lot of reasons because it's easy to maintain, and also I found out that every now and then I'll have a blind student who uses a screen reader to read what's on a screen, and they love these very simple screens where the words are very simple. Their screen readers work really well. So I keep it like that. But anyway, this little website here has links to, first of all, to the video lectures and lecture slides. So if you click on that link, you will go and have a list of all the YouTube playlists for each chapter, and then a link to all of the slides in PDF format for each chapter. So for example, if you want to start studying chapter 1, you would click here on the chapter 1 playlist, and it'll open up right here, and you will see all of the 5 videos for chapter 1. Now, like I said, these videos are broken up into anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes in length. And I do that so you can chunk them. That way, you can, if you only if you're like taking a break at work or something, and you have like a half hour, you can watch a 15-minute video and then come back to it later. So you have these videos here that you can watch. If we go back to Blackboard, the last link that you see on this page here is the link for the exams. Now the exams are already here. All 4 of them are here. Exam 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can take these exams anytime you want. Just make sure, again, you have them due prior to the due dates. Make sure they're due. You turn them in prior to the due dates. And they all have their due dates already set. The exams are already set and ready to go, so you can take them anytime you want. Just remember, as I said earlier, you can only take the exam one time. You can only attempt it once, and once you start it, you have to finish it. So when you start an exam, make sure you've got 90 minutes to dedicate to it. Make sure you have a stable internet connection. Make sure you have a stable computer, and make sure that you're not going to be interrupted for 90 minutes to take the exam. Let's see. Blackboard. I think that's about it. If you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email. I will get to it as soon as I can. I'll admit to you, I'm not the greatest at responding to my emails. I try, but I will get to the email as soon as I can. And again, if you have any questions, let me know. If you want to talk, let me know. If you want to have a study group together, let me know. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the class. I put a lot of work into it to make this as positive an experience as I can. And I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you learn something. So take care and good luck.